better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, he's making a list and he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus, he is coming to town.
Good afternoon to one and all. Welcoming you to the 7th Lucky Dip contest brought to you by Mind Technologies Private Limited. After a successful run, the last 6 winners who've been extremely overwhelmed by winning a Zomeo software, one more time, once again, we come here in front of you to present a winner. And who that will be revealed after a wonderful session that we have today by Dr. Archana. And this session is on cervical spondylosis. So my dear friends, sit back and relax and watch this wonderful session. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Archana and welcome to our Zomeo session today. Before we start our session, let's answer to one question in our mind. Why is Zomeo so unique? Well, the slogan says it all. All that we have in homeopathy is in Zomeo. All in homeo is in Zomeo. Many features like quick symptom recording, patient management, access to millions and trillions of symptoms just at a click, search engine options are readily available, and I will be showing you some more features that not only will make your time less or shorten it, but also make you more confident in your prescriptions. The most important part of our software is the rubric hunting or rubric searching, where you do not need to type the entire sentence, but just a small keywords and you are to your desired results. So this saved time can be utilized for seeing other patients, isn't it? So let's start with our session today. Today we will be solving a case of cervical spondylosis and see how our software Zomeo helps you to get through the remedy in minutes. This is a case of 71 years old chairman of a multinational company reported with cervical spondylosis. He has taken all the physiotherapy and allopathic medications with no relief in 2 months. He had gone to inspect a factory taken over by a French company And as it was a cement factory, he had sudden coughing and all problems started since then. Pain started suddenly on left side of arm. Doctors thought it could be cardiac, so all the tests were done which were negative. Pain from cervical region extending to the scapula and goes into the hand. Dull pain. The pain was more on movement. The pain was better by bending head backwards. Pain was better by hot water bag. There was a knee pain which was also characteristically on the left side. He had to support his knees. There was a past history of hernia, again, which started on left side and it has been going to the right side. There was a family history as well. Father had expired at 49 due to hypertension. Mother was 92 when she expired. One son and one daughter. The daughter is abroad with no illness. Also, in the past history, he noticed first gray hair at the age of 27 years. The appetite was good. He had a marked craving for sweets and also to ice cream. He was a non vegetarian person, but he didn't like extreme sweet things. He had a characteristic love for salt and he used to add extra salt to the food. The stool and urine were all in normal limits. There was sweat only on exertion. He had a characteristically no dreams in his history. He had a refreshing 6 hours of normal sleep without any dreams. In the thermal modalities, we found that the patient had bath with hot water. He desired air conditioning at all the times, but he couldn't bear fast fan. There was also a marked aggravation to the draft of air. This patient also had aversion to sun. Hobbies. He had a persona where he would love to work. He was such a workaholic that he could work to the tireless limits and did not get tired at all. In short, he loved to work, which was 3 marks. He also liked to play golf. He also was a person who loved to travel. He had a very limited friend circle because all the time he was busy with business and all the time whatever come to his mind was thinking of money. Anger, which was characteristically marked, he expressed his anger if something is wrong. Work was never a stress for this person. He never worried at all for work. So that's what he said, like he keeps on working 20 hours a day, even at this age of 71. And on examination, we found that the weight of this patient was 87 kgs. His BP was 140 by 100. On face, there were few hypopigmented warts and patches. Tongue was coated white. Nose was congested. There was a characteristic baggy swelling below both the eyes. In the neck, there was a swelling which was marked on the left side. On examination, there was also a mild swelling in the cervical region. But again, there was pain on turning on the left side. On legs, there was a pitting edema on both the legs. So this is the case, doctors, and I hope you all have recognized the characteristics of the case. Below is the totality which I have found to be taken into consideration for the case. Sun and draft of air aggravation because he could not manage to have so much of draft. Workaholic, he could easily work for 20 hours at this age and kept on working tirelessly. Gets angry easily at the drop of the hat. Left-sided aggravation. He was a hot patient as you could see the thermal modalities. Desires for sweets and salty food. Baggy swelling below both the eyes. Warts and desires to travel. So doctors, this was the totality, and except the last four, the above ones, that is sun and draft of air, aggravation, workaholic, gets angry easily, left-sided aggravation, and yes, hot patient were very crucial for the case. So let's start to solve this case with our Zomeo. So as you see the screen, towards the left side top, we first register the case. You can see the layout that there are different modules in our software like patient, repertory, materia, etc. We go to this option of patient and we register the case. You just click on the new patient and we can see a new screen pop-up will show the details to be entered. Say we entered a new patient named Rohan and start with saving this case. In this case, this patient had age 71 years. So let's write the age as 71. And you can see how beautifully this date of birth also changes to the concerned year, also showing you the sun sign. We also have options of preliminary information where you can just click on the options related like religion, like marital status, etc. And we hit the save button. Now, as we click on this save button, two things will happen simultaneously. The first one is that the case gets registered in the patient details. On the top right, we will see the name of the case that we are working upon. So whatever details doctors we type now will be recorded and saved in the case for the same. And the second thing that happens is the patient's name also gets registered into our patient data. So next time the patient comes, we just have to type the initials and hit on this option search. So this is how you get into the case. Going ahead, as you can see doctors, there is this blinking cursor on the screen. Here we start entering the keywords that are needed for our case. So let us type the first rubric, sun aggravation. For that, I simply need to type the word sun and click on the search tab. Then automatically, I am directed to the new page where from all the repertories that we have on our Zomeo software that are displayed to the left, and each repertory which has this word sun is shown to the right side of the screen. Zomeo has searched for 772 rubrics for sun in this case. And we can also see that inside each repertory, it displays the number of rubric it has searched for. As I click on the repertory, I also see this repertory chapter. I can also see the remedy count. So in this case of sun aggravation, it is found in the chapter of generalities and the remedy count is 425 for this case. There is also a small yellow box on the right. This is nothing but the cross-reference. As I click on this, I can see that there are certain other rubrics that could also be for the sun aggravation. We can scroll through the relevant rubrics and as just on this checker box, we can add them to our repertorization table as well. Now on the extreme right side, we have an access to the sorting of the remedies as per the marking, say from 4 or as per the name, that is alphabetically. So let's take this rubric by just double clicking it and this gets added to the repertorization sheet on the left side of our software. You can see this repertorization sheet which is a colorful box on the left and the number 1 below shows that this rubric has been recorded. Okay, going ahead, the next rubric that was important was draft of air. I simply have to type in the search bar as draft and just click on search. And Zomeo has searched for all the rubrics in a nick of seconds. To be specific, 477 rubrics have been selected, which are having draft word in it. You can see from complete, it is having 188 rubrics. Kent's has 50, Ellen's has 41, and so on. So this is how, friends, we select the rubrics in our software. I select the first one, which has 234 rubrics from the Generalities chapter. I just have to double click and you can see how beautifully this repertorization has selected 2 rubrics in our table. Okay, the patient was very industrious and workaholic, isn't it? With a mania to work. So I select the rubric as industrious. I just click on industrious and you can see how beautifully the software also prompts the spelling so that there would not be any error in selection. I click on search and I can see this first rubric. You can also notice on the left that the other repertories don't have this rubric. So this also signifies why you need to have so many repertories with us. I see that complete has in the mind of chapter 254 rubrics. I select this and it gets added to the repertory sheet. So now we have 3 rubrics covered as we can see in the table. He was also a very angry kind of person, a bit tendency to get angry. So I just type anger and see what I get. I see that there are more than thousands of rubric for anger, 1780 in this case. I select again the mind chapter and I see that there are 645 rubrics. We have totally selected now 4 rubrics and now see what Zomeo has concluded the remedy to. Just there is a small icon to the left which is a colored box and has 4 written below. This is our repertorization table icon. A single click will tell you what is the result of our selected rubrics. 4 in this case. I can see that out of these 4 symptoms, we have total 843 remedies. And first in line among them is lycopodium. Now, we have a big question. Which remedy to select? Which is going to be the similum for the patient? Do we have to select the first remedy just because it stands out from the 843 remedies? Or we have to also check from the other 842 remedies. We have a huge literature of books and there are millions and trillions of rubrics of books. But with Zomeo, this huge task is at a click of your fingers. There is a show repertorization tool over here at the top of the repertorization. On clicking on this option, we get a completely different ribbon at the top of the screen. Here we see different options and the first option, which is the strategy option. It has a lot of other modules inside it, but because of time constraints, I shall be only talking about 1 or 2 filters. However, in the one-to-one demo session that we carry on your request, we shall walk through the same in detail. At this point, let us take the help of the different filters present in the Zomeo. Let us go for the cross filter. This filter allows you to view only those remedies that covers the symptoms we see as the major important symptoms of the case. Now here in this case of this 71-year-old gentleman, all the 4 rubrics were very important. So we simply click on all of these rubrics as they are important and we can see from 843, now we just come to 79 remedies. That means it has drilled down the ones which are not relevant in the case and has come to a 2-digit number from a 3-digit number. But there is no confirmation again. Differentiating among 79 medicines is extremely difficult. Let us now refine this list even further. Let us make the case more specific. We will now apply another filter, that is the property filter. For this filter, I click on the option aside the more strategies filter and see that there are again different modules inside as well. The property filter is a very useful strategy to drill down the list of remedy to a more sensible properties that we see in the patient from a homeopathic point of view. Like in our case, the patient was a hot patient and all the symptoms were characteristically towards the left side. How it does this is that we select and check the most important option for the case. I select hot, and I also select left side. How it does this is that we select and check it, and now it is just checking on all the left-sided and hot remedies in my case. When we apply this filter, Zomeo will not only show those remedies that are collectively present in the selected options, but will also eliminate all other remedies that do not cover the combination of the selected remedies. Just clicking on OK, and let's see how we drill down from 79. We just have 6 remedies. So doctors, we have drilled down from 3-digit number to a 2-digit number, and finally add the 6 remedies in our case. Here, we can even compare the 3 remedies that come to the screen. Say sulfur, natramor and lachesis. We just have to add them to the compare option on the top of the screen. You can see this option is there on the top. Simply go on adding the number of remedies. At a point, it will only show 3, but you can compare any and many number of remedies. Now look at this. All the 3 remedies at one screen. And now let's come back to our case. From these keynotes of lachesis that we see, which are very beautifully lined up over here, we want to see whether we have to give lachesis or not. We simply have to click on this option, and we can see another ribbon comes about just clicking on the lachesis. Now from here, I can read on keynotes, I can read on properties, I can read relationship, and I can even see the picture of lachesis just at a click. Let's confirm this remedy. As we read on lachesis, we can see that the patient had no emotion whatsoever and could also work for 18 to 20 hours without getting tired. This confirms our patient's personality. Now, I click on prescribe in the complaint option, and we can write down cervical spondylosis. We can see the remedy already there. Potency, say 30C. Dosage was 4 powders. You can just scroll down and see 4 powders. Repetition was OD, and it was given for a week. This is how we prescribe, and we can see this in the follow-up section where the medicine has been very well written. You can even take a printout of this by just clicking on this print option, and you can see this printout can be taken. Now let us read about lachesis. Again, I click on lachesis, and you can see a new ribbon is displayed on the top, which has everything from keynotes. Now a single click will open the case, and you can even read it from the huge database of 8,000 cases. All I need to do is click on lachesis, and can see here are the number of cases that you see. Let's say the first case if I want to read, and it has a huge database of more than 8,000 cases with us. You can see these cases are centuries ago. You can increase and decrease the font of this reading by just scrolling down and hitting on this scroll, add and decrease button. As we were reading about the keynotes, we can also see other options like family, physiological action, ailments, mind, etc. Now, these are all compiled from the huge database of materia medica that we have with us. Let's read on the nucleus of the remedy, the confirmatory symptoms left-sided, and we also can scroll down and see the remedy relationship and also duration of the remedy. There are other remedies in this lachesis family. When we click on this, we can even see about them. This is a hot patient. There is a remedy relationship as well, which I just now told you. That also shows the duration of action of the remedy. Also, we have a very beautiful option to print out. We can take a printout of the same. We gave this patient certain tips to follow by selecting on the utility option, say patient instructions, and we have to type the do's and don'ts and select the utility option. Say for example, this patient had cervical spondylosis, and we can see how nicely the do's and don'ts have been mentioned over here. Again, in diet and nutrition, we just type the ailment, say cervical spondylosis, and we can get the same. The follow-up of the patient was given lachesis and he came back on 8th, and again lachesis was repeated with Saclac for 14 days. The patient was better. On 19th, the patient came back and he was still more better with lachesis repeating again. On 19th, he was only given SL. The patient was all right in these months, but the patient again came on 23rd. But as the remedy was now clear and it helped him, we prescribed the same medicine. Lachesis 30 for 14 p.m. and SL for 14 days. Again on 20th, lachesis was repeated. Patient was all right. On 21st, again, lachesis 30 was given with 14 days of SL. And on 17th, the patient had no pain, no discomfort at all, and the treatment was SL. The patient is all right with no trouble at all. Patient was given lachesis and all trouble were left-sided. He had no emotions whatsoever. He was all the time working and could work 18 to 20 hours and still didn't get tired. Lachesis produced desired result and the patient was all right. He never suffered from any major sickness at all for these years. Again, when the trouble recurred, the same medicine worked. Lachesis and sulfur should never be given at all on the night time. Preferably, it should be given early morning only. Lachesis produced desired results, and as we saw, that the learning of the case was that after repertorization, the final conclusion of the remedy should be brought upon with the help of knowledge of materia medica and confirmation of the symptoms from the source books. So, doctors, this is how the right remedy and the right software can take you to the right remedy within minutes without compromising on the quality on information input. Be it any age group, acute or chronic, the right remedy can be derived through meticulous case taking and keen observation. This is not a miracle, but the efficacy of homeopathy and quick symptom search in materia medica aided by Zomeo. We hope that you enjoyed this session and learned from this session. If you have any doubts or you want to forward your feedback, please feel free to do so and we would answer them to the best of our ability. Until next session, take care. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Archana, for this wonderful session on cervical spondylosis. My dear friends, now it's time to see who the winner is for the 7th lucky dip. Everyone's eyes on the screen. Dr. Namrata Tabib from Maharashtra. Namrata Sagar Tabib, congratulations. Congratulations to you. You've just won yourself a Zomeo software. And thank you, my dear friends, for participating in this Lucky Dip contest. It was a decent success for us for the last 2 months. And the winners are really overwhelmed. We have many things coming up in future months. So stay tuned for all our updates on email, on WhatsApp, our calling team. They're in constant touch with a lot of you. There's a lot that we have to offer, right from training to demonstrations. We've got qualified doctors who actually help you with this. All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating and giving us your presence today and for the rest of the Lucky Dips as well. Until we meet the next time, have a fabulous year ahead. Thank you so much.